How's it going, guys? Big O here, and in today's video I'm going to go over my 5 rules on not caring what people think about you. So before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you guys get notified when I upload next. So let's get into it. So rule number 5 that I would have on not caring what people think is to get used to some resistance, because no matter what, you're going to always get some resistance on whatever you're doing. You're always going to have people who are always going to tell you that you're in the wrong, that you're just kind of not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So instead of trying to say that, oh, I'm not gonna not care what people think because I don't want them to tell me these things, just realize that there's always going to be resistance in whatever you're going to do. So just get used to it, and it's going to always be hard to not care about those things, but you just have to get used to having that resistance there. So just get used to that resistance. Rule number 4 that I would have in being not caring about what people think about you is to be more strong-minded. So if you're more or less just weak-minded, you're going to give in to what they're going to say. So the more the more strong-minded you are, the more you're going to just let that pass on. You're going to let it pass by and say, hey, keep telling yourself that you're just doing the right thing for you, So being strong-minded is one of the most important things that actually will help you out in not caring about what other people are going to think about you. So, realize that you're going to get some resistance from people, and that you just have to be strong-minded to pass by and just not worry about what they're telling you to do. So rule number 3 is to not let into other people's ideas. Because as I said, they're going to actually tell you that you're not going down the right path, or you're never gonna make it, or stuff like that. They're mostly just trying to do that just so that you can stay where you're at, so that they don't feel like they're getting left out. So if you're gonna let into people's ideas and say, hey, they might be right, let's say they're calling you a failure, they might be right, I am a failure. That's something that you have to realize, that they're just putting that into your head to have you stop trying to go after your goal. So always just realize that you shouldn't really give in to those people's ideas. So realize that there's going to be resistance, be strong-minded, and don't give in to people's ideas. Rule number 2, alongside with being strong-minded, is most important, being persistent. Because the more persistent you are with what you're doing, the more you're going to realize that you're pretty much doing what you're supposed to be doing, because the more you're giving yourself that allowance to say, hey, it doesn't matter what other people think, I'm doing what I'm doing just because I want to just keep going at it, just so that I can actually see if this will work. So always try to be more persistent in what you're doing. So basically realize that you're going to get some resistance no matter what happens. You're more than likely going to have to be strong-minded. You shouldn't let into people's ideas. And you have to be more persistent, because if you're not going to be persistent, you're never really going to you're always going to care about what people are always thinking. Now, rule number 1 is probably the most important mindset that you should have when not caring about what people think, is that you should always try to prove yourself right. It's not about trying to prove them wrong. It's about trying to prove yourself right so that you can actually say, hey, I'm doing this and I'm seeing results. So the more you prove yourself right, the more you're going to get that self-esteem and say, hey, like, to be more persistent, to be more strong-minded, and just not care about what other people think, because you know that you're always doing the right thing because you see the results. They might not have to see the results, because even if you tell them results, they might not care. Because, especially up front, because very little amount of results is something that that most people don't care about. But little results prove a very big point that it's actually going to work. So if you are just able to prove yourself right, you'll in the end be able to prove everybody else wrong. So realize that you have to get used to getting some resistance. Be more strong-minded. Don't let don't let people's ideas influence who you are and where you're going. Be persistent and always try to prove yourself right, not trying to prove other people wrong. Now, that was my list. If you guys think that I missed a couple of things, or if you guys have anything to add on that, go and leave a comment down below with any of the suggestions that you guys have on this topic as well. You might not know it, it might help somebody else out. So just go and leave that comment with any of the suggestions or any ideas that you guys have. And that Name My YouTube Channel contest, challenge, whatever you guys want to call it, is still going on. So if you guys want a chance to win a shout out in a future video of mine, go and leave a comment down below with any suggestions that you guys have on the name of this channel. And of course, the winner will get that shout out. So there's only one person that can get that shout out. Not everyone that gets into it will actually get a shout out. So if you guys like that video, go and leave a like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you guys get notified when I upload next. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.